Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 3. Very excited about this one. I know a lot of people are still on the skepticism train of whether or not this show is going to be good or not in the long run as a series. Once it's over, are we going to look back and think this show was really good, or was it just really poorly done? So far, I'm really liking this show. I think last week's episode was a improvement over the first one, but I also believe that it was one of the best Star Wars episodes of any of the shows that we have gotten so far. That including some of the episodes from Mandalorian Season 2. I don't think it was better than the finale of Season 2 or The Jedi, but I think it is up there in terms of storytelling and just the way it was executed and the way that relationships are being formed with Boba and the Tuskens. And then I think that that is going to continue in this next episode as well. If the flashbacks are any indication, we are not up to the current date of The Mandalorian Season 2 or where that ended or what we have seen in the Book of Boba Fett present day time where the show actually takes place. We haven't seen really anything of that yet. So I think that they are going to catch us up with the final few scenes of flashbacks in this episode. I think Boba is going to leave the tribe. I think he's going to go and find Fennec. I think that he is going to, go back to Jabba's palace, realize that Slave One is there. I think he's going to try to get back into the game of Boba Fett. He hears that Cobb Vanth is in Mos Pelgo defending the town with his armor, so he goes there to chat with him, and on his way to chat with him, I think that he's going to see Din Djarin flying by on his speeder with his armor, and I think that that would answer the question of, why wouldn't Boba just go to Mos Pelgo and get the armor back from Cobb Vanth himself? I think that he was on his way to. I don't think that is a far-fetched explanation, honestly. I think he was on his way to with Fennec, saw that Mando was carrying armor, or maybe he thought that Mando had Boba Fett's armor on from that distance. It's not like he was using goggles to look and see what kind of detailed armor he had, but I think it's going to wrap up the flashback portion of this show. I think with the whole Boba Fett thing, I think we might get a little bit more flashbacks once we get characters introduced, like Bossk, possibly Cad Bane. Maybe we get some younger Daniel Logan action. I think that would be really cool. Some more of that would be awesome, because that actor, I believe, was a lookalike, and then they messed with CG on his face a little bit to, morph his face to look like Daniel Logan from Attack of the Clones. But I think it'd be really cool if we went back and saw that stuff. And then I also recall Robert Rodriguez saying something about us getting flashbacks to Empire Strikes Back era of Star Wars. So I think when these bounty hunters come into the show, like Bossk, Dengar, Forlom, Zuckuss, maybe IG-88, I think that we're going to get flashbacks of those bounty hunters working together in their history. I think that would be awesome. And I think that would revive a lot of the fans who were down on these flashbacks and they think it's a waste of time. I think that they would be very pleased with these kinds of flashbacks because it's moving the story along, using exciting content like cameos and whatnot. I think a lot of people would be really on board for that. So those reasons, I'm very excited with this episode. But with these last two episodes, like I said, we haven't gotten much of the current day storyline stuff where Boba is in the midst of taking over as crime lord on Tatooine, and maybe even the galaxy. We don't know what his full plan is. It hasn't been explained yet. But we have the Hutts coming in. They are trying to take back the land from Boba. They're claiming the land that was their cousin Jabba's. We also have Black Krrsantan. Now remember his name. I was actually watching videos on his character and his interaction with Kenobi and some of these comic books, and his lore is quite interesting. And I think what they could do with this show is when they bring in Bossk, that would be a very interesting dynamic, because if you guys don't know, Wookiees and Trandoshans hate each other. Trandoshans hunted Wookiees for sport, and put them into slavery. If you guys saw the Clone Wars episode where Chewbacca shows up, and I think some of the Jedi Padawans are trying to help them escape. I can't really remember that episode entirely. I think Ahsoka's in that one as well. But it's a very interesting episode, and it helps you grasp the idea of the relationship between the Trandoshans and the Wookiees, and I think it would be very, very cool to see that further explained in the show, and what is going to happen with Black Chrysanthemum and Boba Fett, because obviously they're teasing a fight. I heard some people say that Boba and him are going to fight, and then later on Boba will save him and end up having a life debt to Boba, and they'll be kind of like partners, kind of like Han Solo and Chewbacca had the life debt to Chewie for saving his life in the beginning of Solo. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting the way that they are going with the show and the way they're going to unwrap these cameos that are possibly going to happen. We really don't know, but they really are teasing out some crazy stuff. I know Tamara Morrison and Ming-Na Wen were recently doing interviews, and she had to keep cutting Tamara off about revealing certain aspects of this show, and I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see all of this unfold and find out what he is talking about. But before we get started, I just want to say, if you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you guys want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm super excited, so let's go.
I was sent by the mayor! The mayor sent me!
I think the mayor is somewhat involved. I think that he wants the Hutts to take over, because he said the Nightwing can only operate in Hutt space. So when the Hutts take over, then they can go after Boba. So are we going to get that Black Chrysanthemum versus Boba showdown? Oh, dude, I sure hope so. I really hope so. Alright, here we go. I think this is going to be the last episode that we see trailer footage from.
Everyone is waiting to see what kind of leader you are.
I can't tell if he's a real animatronic or if he's just CG and done really, really well.
And what is this gang?
Yeah, well, they are half man, half machine.
Another great shot, dude. The shots of the city of Mos Espa are just great. Especially like the overhead shots just like that.
Look around you.
I like the way they did her arm, where it's like from here to here. It's her cybernetic arm, but her hand is still real. That's pretty cool. At least by the looks of it. It's almost an exact shot. No, here we go, more flashbacks. I love the Camino ones. Oh, this is the same shot from last episode. Dude, the score is just so good. I can't get over how good Ludwig Göransson does on these Star Wars scores. Like, it always fits the character and the ground of the story so well. Like, it just blends in so well. Oh, this is where Mando was. Oh, and there's what's her name? The lady, the annoying lady from seasons 1 and 2. She had one episode in each. She had the Pitroids were literally with her in that shot. That's sweet. Oh, no way. What the hell, dude? Oh, shit. Dude, these shots are just insane. No way. I just took it right out of his back. Holy shit, dude. I was not expecting that at all, for him to just open up the tank and then pull him right out of it. Oh, no way! Was that Muchi? No way. It's Danny Trejo.
Clear off Tatooine, and I will consider a truce.
Is there a greater threat? We were both lied to. Is it Crimson Dawn? Or maybe the Night Wind? I hope they team up. I really do. Because I think they're dynamic. Like, getting these gladiators and all these warriors and bounty hunters back together, I think that'd be great. To fight against this greater threat, this greater syndicate. Oh, dude, I'm really liking the way they're setting this up. He's like, where the hell am I supposed to go? I cannot believe they brought Danny into this.
It is said that the witches of Dathomir even rode them through the forest and fens.
Oh, really? Huh.
I want to learn to ride this one.
Yes, you do, based on that concept art that we saw a few months ago. Does it possibly recognize him because of the Bad Batch? If it is Muchi, like he would recognize him because he's a clone. So the Bad Batch, that would be pretty sweet. Because to like have an instant connection to that. I like how he's got a little ensemble now. I don't think this is going to be the episode where we start getting the crazy action, but I think the ending of this is going to really set it up to start picking up next episode. It always escaped. Oh, is the mayor not even there? Maybe the mayor ran off-world just because he saw Boba as a threat, and that's probably why he wants him eliminated. Not because of the power that he threatens to hold, but... This has a bit of a Solo vibe. I gotta rewatch that movie. That movie is just great. It's so underappreciated. Oh, nice. Jabba portrait.
Where is he?
He's with the Pikes.
Oh, shit.
These are just a first wave. They're going to war.
Then we will be ready.
With some help? With some help? Dude, I'm just... I don't understand the hate. Like, I get... People have this vision of the perfect Boba Fett show. They just want to see, right out the gate, they want to see all these bounty hunters come in and help Boba fight against him. Some Sith show up, some Jedi show up, and all that. But I don't think that's what... I think that they're building it slowly, and I appreciate that. And I think all of that will come in time. I think all of this character development and bringing in all these characters is leading to a build-up with Thrawn. I've been saying this since the end of Season 2 of The Mandalorian, where we are going to see all of these heroes that we have known to love and gotten to know over the last several years with Clone Wars, Mandalorian, now Book of Boba Fett. I think we're going to see all of these characters return in a sense, even Rebels with Ezra and Sabine and possibly Hera and what's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? I'll come back to it. But characters from Rebels, and I think all of these characters are going to come together and they're going to fight the bigger threat that they see. I think all of these villains are going to, not really per se villains, but they are bounty hunters. We know them as villains, just from Star Wars lore, because they tend to work with the Empire and the darker side of things in the galaxy. So it's going to be very interesting, but I think that these characters are going to come together and there's going to be a big Avengers level, a big Avengers sized fight that goes down. And I think it's going to be control of a certain portion of the galaxy. Something huge is going to be at stake, but I wouldn't be surprised if like 3-4 years down the line, whenever we have all these shows with these developed characters, and we have like Mando season 3, 4, maybe second season of this, Ahsoka, all of these other crazy shows, the Luke series that is reportedly in development. I think that this is setting up for something huge. But with this, I think the expectations need to be kept a little bit lower, because we are following the story of Boba Fett, and that is what a lot of us have come here to see. And I get people want to see other things. I do too. But it's not the first thing that crosses my mind. It may seem like it because that's a lot of what I talk about, but I am very, very happy with what we get from these episodes every week. I think it's some of the best Star Wars that we've seen in a while. I don't think it's quite Mandalorian Season 2 level, but it is definitely on the level of Mandalorian Season 1, where it is just fantastic storytelling week after week so far. They are bringing in these characters, like the fight with Black Chrysanthemum was phenomenal. I like how he's starting to gain a bit of a following, especially with recruiting this little biker gang. I don't think we've heard a single one of their names yet, but I think we're going to get to know them and get to like them very, very much as this series goes on. And we did see the one main chick that has the blue speeder bike in the trailers, and we were speculating who that was, if she was like a dark acolyte, like a Sith that has lived for centuries now. And I don't think that's the case. I think that would be way more obvious than just, you know, her hanging out on Tatooine with a bunch of other gang members. But I really like what they're doing with setting this up. You know, he just got the Rancor. That's going to be his backup. We know from leaked concept art that he is going to learn how to ride this thing, which is really, really cool. It was interesting that they brought that up just because we had seen that concept art before. We don't know if it's Muchi quite yet. His name wasn't spoken by Danny Trejo's character. I thought that was really, really cool how they brought him into that. You know, it's Robert Rodriguez, so of course he has to throw one of his recurring actors into the mix of things with Star Wars especially, and I'm sure he was happy to do that because from what I hear, he's a big Star Wars guy. But I think that this show is setting up for something big, and I am very, very excited with where it's going. Like I said, I love the way that they're setting up the mayor and the Pikes working together. So the Pike Syndicate is the syndicate that is taking over Tatooine, and obviously we saw that the Hutts are pulling out of this situation because they know of the Pikes to be dangerous. I'm wondering if Crimson Dawn is in some affiliation now with the Pikes, and you know, there's a broader shadow to these syndicates. I think they might all fall under one larger syndicate, that being Crimson Dawn. I think you know, maybe it might have gone down in popularity and in power after the death of Maul, because we know he was running things by the end of Solo and through little things in Clone Wars Season 7. But I think that this bigger threat is really going to pull in all of these heroes and all of these characters that we're going to see come together and fight for Tatooine, and I think it would fit really, really well. Because one of the big rumors is Luke Skywalker, Han Solo showing up. I think Han and Kira having a reunion of sorts if Crimson Dawn is involved, like it is heavily rumored. Han Solo also heavily rumored for the last episode cameo. I think them reuniting would be very, very interesting, because I mean, at this point he's married to Leia. They just had Ben at this point. So I think it'd be very, very interesting to see this. Were they Leia and Han were married, right? I don't know if that was ever officially stated in the sequels. I haven't cared to go back and check, but I think that would make for quite a reunion. But the one thing I have on my mind is that they are fighting for the stakes of Tatooine, and as we know, Luke Skywalker resides on Tatooine. That's where he's from. That's where his father was from. I think it would be very, very interesting if he came back as a favor. If Din Djarin came in say, episode 6 or 5 or 6, and he wanted more, they needed more help because, you know, the Pikes and the mayor got Crimson Dawn, say, and some crazy characters from that side of the galaxy to show up. Maybe even Thrawn. Who knows at this point? I really don't know where they're going, and I don't want my expectations to get ahead of me, because that's ultimately how these episodes become, you know, less exciting for a lot of people. But I think it's fun to speculate what we could see. But I think it'd be very interesting if they got Luke involved in this, because, you know, he resides on Tatooine like his father. He did most of his life, all of his childhood. So I think it'd be very, very cool for him to come back and help fight with Boba, Din Djarin, maybe even these other characters. So I think it would be very, very cool to see all of this go down, and I think that's what we are going to see. But as for what is coming next directly, I think that we're going to start getting teases, as by the end of that, we saw that the Pikes and the Mayor obviously ganged up. They're teaming up now. They're trying to take down Boba and his little group that he's trying to form, and take down his plan of becoming the crime lord of Tatooine, the daimyo of Tatooine, or Mos Espa, as they seem to title it. So I think that he's going to start recruiting people of his own. We saw from the trailers that he has this dinner with these Trandoshans and other species. So I think that he's going to start there and try to recruit some of these people, and it's not going to work. And I think that he's going to rely on old bounty hunter friends to come in and help him. And I think Black Krrsantan is ultimately going to join them. I don't think he's going to go back with the Hutts, because just having him in for the short amount of time was really, really cool. But I think it would ultimately pay off even more if they kept him in the team of Boba. So I think that there are big things planned for this show. So I'm very, very excited to see what is coming next with the show. And the show is keeping me on edge week to week. And I can't wait to see the ultimate resolution of this show. I think it's going to be awesome. But what did you guys think? Let me know what you guys thought down below in the comments. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you guys want to do to support the channel. Memberships will be up very, very soon. I still am demonetized, so I cannot get those memberships up and rolled out for you guys. But you will see all the TV shows and movie reactions that I have done since the beginning of December. You guys will be able to see all of the Boba Fett full-length reactions. You guys will get Cobra Kai full-length reactions. Hawkeye, all of my reactions were taken down for whatever reason for copyright. Not even a claim. They were all blocked. They were all up. I was waiting for an appeal for episode 6, and then they all got blocked, which was the strangest thing. I've never had that happen before. I woke up, all my videos were blocked, and I just removed them. So it was very, very strange to see that other reactors were able to get away with all of those shows, and that Hawkeye was just, you know, taken down for whatever reason. I didn't get an explanation. It was just like my entire video was blocked, not just certain portions of it, the entire video. So it was very, very strange. But if you guys do want to see all of those full-length reactions that I did mention, I'll try to get all my Hawkeye ones up for the members if I can. I think that'd be really, really cool, and I want to give back to you guys just because I appreciate all of the recent support. But I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one.